When I caddied out on the DP World Tour, I couldn't believe the different approach the pros were using to play a rough shot, tight lie, and out the fairway. How good's that divot, by the way? You certainly don't want to be back here, a little more down here. It's absolutely crucial if you want to start lowering your scores in this area. Now, I'm sure there's things that you do, but I'm sure there's plenty of things that you do not do. I know for a fact, these two lies here, you're gonna think, bloody hell, I wish I did this sooner. That's what all my clients say, and they're all roughly around that mid-handicap, so sort of teens white. Okay, fairway shot. This is gonna have, let's say, high spin, but surprisingly, not the highest. Contact, and this will really make sense as we go through this, in terms of club face, will be middle, assuming obviously we strike it well. Let me explain. And I need you to stick with me on all of these so you can compare the difference at the end. So fairway lie, contact on a good strike will be able to access this middle. That's why it's high spin, but not the highest. Now I also need you to tune into where you're trying to land this. The flag's 90. On a shot like this, I would use the rule of thumb of around 10 yards short. So 80, right? We're just assuming this is sort of right in the middle of the green. We're looking at landing this around 10 yards short. I would then, and stance-wise, really listen to the differences as we go through these shots. We're looking for a narrow stance, around 2 club head widths apart, ball in the middle of the stance, weight 50-50, okay? Weight 50-50. We don't want to lean too much this way. We certainly don't want to be back here. Weight 50-50. You know what might be a really good idea is at the end of this video, when I've written all the information out on the whiteboard, why don't you just screenshot it? In fact, why don't you even save this video so you've got it at hand next time you're playing on your own or even heading to the range. Oh, that is going to be all over that. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. And if you have a quick run up to that green, show them where that ball's gone, I'll write these points on the whiteboard. I like that shot, you know. That was decent. Okay, tight lie, look at that. No real grass around it. Now I know this lie is going to scare some of us. It doesn't have to be, no longer. So it's going to be a lower shot. It's going to be aggressive with spin, aggressive and lower shot. This is because you can get the ball first. The contact, and this surprises some of us, is going to be a little bit lower in the face. If I just do a little draw in here, oh God, this is terrible, I know, oh dear. How am I drawing a golf club here? Let's do a face like that, down here. This is going to be a club face, guys. I'm really sorry. This is terrible. You're looking for it to be a little bit lower in the face. If we were sort of right bang in the middle here with this shot, it's a little bit lower in the face. So it's going to be aggressive, it's going to be a lower trajectory, it's going to be contact lower, and it's going to be spinny. Another bugbear is when people come to me, they've got dirty wedges. So let's clean this wedge before we hit the shot. I'm going to use my 54 again. Sorry, not 54, my 50 again. But this is going to be a much lower ball flight because that contact's going to be a little more down here. Now, the reason why it scares a lot of people is we try to play it like it's on a juicy fairway lie. Then it's very hard to get ball first or guarantee it when we know we're a little bit tense. So ball was middle of stance on that first shot. We're now going to have ball back half of stance. How good's that divot, by the way? I will put sand in that before we move on. Don't worry. Ball's now going to be towards the back of our stance and we're going to go 60-40. 60-40. Now I do like to feel through this shot, I'm covering it with my chest a little more. I'm doing everything to comfort myself that I'm giving myself the best chance of hitting ball first. So covering it a little more with the chest, a little more with the chest. Now, I'm going to plan it for it to be a little bit shorter on that carry. So it was 90 yards, landed at 80, probably landing around 75, have a big skid and boom, stop dead. And that's just because of the lie. But you have to plan this into your repertoire of shots. Reading the lie is a pro caddy skill that I learned caddying out on tour, and now you can have it in your own game. And you hit more greens, you hit it closely, you give yourself a chance of making putts, and that's how you lower your scores in this area. Oh, yes, that is skidding up there. You know, that's inside. So I bet you could have seen that skid. Right, Em, get your steps in. Let's go and show them where that one finished. One divot done. Next divot, see how I got the ball first on that? Next divot done. I'm not hitting one out the fairway now, so we can do that. Let's put that back. We're now onto our rough shot, but there you go. Stance, 60-40, ball back. We're now in rough. Is that how you spell rough? Yeah. Phew. I get butchered for my spelling by my friends, everybody, just because it's not my repertoire. So, this next shot is going to be a low spin shot. We're also going to contact higher in the face. And that's what's one of the things that makes it low spin. Let me grab a golf club out here. There's a few things we actually really have to bring into this. So, our contact before was middle to low, right? They're more spinny. Anything towards the top here, and this happens because, especially in this grass, if we go a bit lower, if you look at that there, as we're coming in, we could get a couple of things. We're going to catch it a little bit more higher in the face, but we could also get grass stuck between the club and the ball. These factors lower the spin. When you're lowering the spin, you're going to get a ball that rolls out more. Now, to factor this into your club selection, I was using 50 before. I now need a higher launching club, one that's going to have a bit of a steeper angle of descent so it doesn't roll out too much. Still going to roll out, but I'm trying to negate it a little bit. So I would adopt to using a little more loft, to send it a little bit higher, get it to stop, then roll out. If I use the 50 degree, it's going right through. I think if I just roll this out really quickly and just sort of explain this, we need, that's our green, that's our flag, we need it to go higher to then roll out. Rather than we hit the same club, it goes low with less spin, it rolls out so much more. That's a better drawing than my golf club, isn't it? Right, let's talk through how we're going to play this. We've first got a little more loft in our hand. I want you to have the ball towards the back. Remember, this is the bit where I'm talking about at the start of that video. I can't even count on my hands how many times people have said, I wish I'd done this earlier. Especially when you're paying for golf lessons, right? You want to have this in there. So we go now, weigh a little more on our lead side. Ball back a stance and weigh, I would say, 65% on that lead side, just to get a more downwards hit to avoid the grass as best as possible. So here we go, a higher shot that's going to have a little more rollout with less spin. A little bit like that. That went so high, I lost it. A little bit to the right, you're going to have way less control, but that's exactly how you adopt that. I won't make you run up this time. I'll come up with you and let's see where they've all finished. Let's write down stance. We need to go a little bit left there, I think. Stance, 65/70, and then that'll be 35. We have the ball back, and we need to add more. It's hard for me to write, and I'll show you this so you can screenshot it.
Yeah, they are supposed to be screenshotting it, so you need to make it neat.
I do realise that.
What's that?
Yeah, I'll write that bit again when we stop. Right, you can see all these shots right here. Okay, I'll write this out so you can see it neatly. Loft. So there you go. Fairway, tight lie, rough. Low spin, contact high will be high in the face, stance more on the left side or lead side, ball back, more loft. So I used 50 degree there, I used 50 degree there, and I used 54 there to have a higher launch, landing softer, and roll out. Let's go and see where they're finished. Em's just said how much you can see from where the second ball pitched and skidded all the way up closer to the flag. Let's do this in reverse order. The last shot pitched here and rolled out all the way up there. The first shot, Em said, pitched here and stood to attention. And then the second shot, this is not in reverse order, I've realised that now. And then the second shot pitched here, skidded all the way up there. Just wanted to get those pitch marks repaired. I hate it when people don't repair them. If you did enjoy this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for free simple golf tips. And by the way, how good does this place look?